Hey, what's going on, guys? CSM55 here. It's Liam, CSM55. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another... No, it's not another episode. It is the episode. It's the only episode. It's not the only episode. It is the start of a brand new, long time series. What? That makes no sense. I know it doesn't make sense. That's exactly why I said it. So, what's happened to Feed the Beast? It was a great series. I know you guys liked it, like the views and everything were amazing on it. We're headed over to my new place. This is my future building place. I just dug out this tunnel. I made a little another portal, so check that out. But so you guys like the views, and the views are good. The comments, the ratings, everything was really nice, and everyone seemed to enjoy the content coming out from it. Except I really didn't enjoy recording it. If you can't tell, like, go on my channel, check out, hit videos, whatever, go in the history. How many series, whatever, have I started and then just gave up on? Probably too many to count, honestly. It's been so many times that I've done that. Why? Because I know I wanted to do a Let's Play, and I love doing Let's Plays, don't get me wrong, right? Love doing Let's Plays, but I just didn't know which one to do. So I started with a vanilla single player. I know I'm using my shovel. Shut up. So I started with a vanilla single player. And then I said, well, I thought, why I can do the same thing in the vanilla single player. I can do it on multiplayer, but I can share it with people. Certain people. Never thought it through that, some people would grief and break the server. Okay? That happened, and there were a few fights. Poof, world gone. Okay, that's the first server. Down. Okay. Whatever. Next time. Keeps happening. Next time. Feed the Beast comes along. It sounds great, right? And it sounds like it's going to be a really fun experience. Blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever. Sounds like it's going to be a great experience. It's great experience to play. And it's a great experience to watch. But it's not a great experience to record, if that makes sense. It's fun to play and it's fun to watch, but it's not fun to do the middle step, okay? So we had the server go down a few times, and basically recording Feed the Beast is a lot more work. I'm just going to landscape, by the way. It's a lot more work than vanilla because the file sizes are a lot bigger for video. Because if I want to make something, sometimes it takes like an hour or something. I can't cut that out because if something funny happens in between, I got to cut it in. Nothing ever does happen in between, but I got to keep recording. Hello, Piggy. What's up? Got to keep recording just in case. So that's whatever. I could go into like a million details, but I don't know. It's just like I like the idea of vanilla. I'm not going to go on to a rant because I made a video announcing that the server's coming back. Well, not the server. The server's always been here, but I'm doing vanilla. SMP, survival multiplayer, vanilla stuff, multiplayer world. I made an announcement video and it was like 8 minutes long, and I went on a rant about why I left Feed the Beast. And then I realized I think that's not a good idea because there's no way of saying why like you chose to choose one thing over another other than putting the other thing down. So I basically made Feed the Beast sound like a terrible game, which it's not, don't get me wrong. And so I decided I wasn't going to do that, and I'm just going to jump into an episode and we're going to have some fun. So, if you guys don't know, this is a server. I do not know the name. You can't do that. So, I don't know the name, but that's okay, because it'll be in the video title. Because the thing is, why I don't know the name, okay, I guess I gotta give a little excuse. I might start dropping frames if I keep it on far. Why I don't know the name? Because no one's really posted any videos on this server. We just played on it for fun and stuff like that. It's been our backup vanilla server one. We just want to get away from Feed the Beast, which this is what I'm doing permanently, basically, for video, that is. So it's our getaway, and no one's been uploading videos. And the MOTD, I just don't read it. I see the ping. Okay, it's full green bars and blah blah blah, and I just log in. That's about how the login procedure works on this server. That's how it's done. So, basically, what are you gonna expect in this series? I'm just gonna cover a few things. I'll talk about some stories, and I'm gonna go and explain my style actually of commentary. Because I know these questions aren't asked, but they could be a frequently asked question, and I can just refer to this video. This is kind of a Q&A. Questions that you guys probably have. So, I'll start off, what are you going to expect in this series? A lot of running around, a lot of parkour, because when I don't know what I'm doing and I'm talking, if I'm talking about something, the only thing I can do is run in one direction or run side to side, and the sun better not be going down because I don't have a bed. And I don't have any wool. Dang it. Okay, whatever. Well, we'll be leaving shortly. I'm just look at these mountains are nice. Random block, random block. So yeah, there could be for a building. There's gonna be lots of buildings. So for the building, we got this desert, and then we got some nice extreme hills, which could actually give like some a good view from here or up there. And there's more in the distance that we'll probably cover in another day. This is just a welcome back and frequently asked questions episode. The video is basically just so you guys can see, and then if you really want me to build something somewhere, you can refer here and be like, yeah, timestamp, whatever. That's a great place to build. Nice forest. Kind of seems like a nice cool area. It feels like there's water on the ground. I don't know, just the textures. And then you go into a kind of moist, dry desert. Kind of explain it. Give you some of that. I don't know, taste. I don't know. Try and give it some emphasis or whatever it's called. Um, and there's more of it's kind of a dry extreme hills. I'm just because the color of the grass, it kind of gives you a little bit of detail in the way trees are spread and random chunk areas. And anyway, so you're going to expect a lot of building. That's not going to be our priority. Maybe not. There's going to be lots of adventuring. Definitely redstone. We're going to cover stuff in the game. Like, we're going to be, talking tech stuff in the game. Which, tech in Minecraft? What? You're going to have to wait and see. So, that's about it for this, what we're going to be doing in this series. Now, if you'll notice, like, say me, I don't know, compare me to other commentators, and compare me to, the way I say things, and the way I talk to you guys, and the way I put stories across, and the way sometimes I just keep stories to myself. You know, I'm not like I could go all out and like tell you my first last name where I live. I don't care. Like I'm not a guy who's like worried about stuff like that. I could really care less. Come to my house, say hi, whatever. I'm not scared about stuff like that. I'm not talking like, oh, I'm not scared of anything. But I mean, I'm not worried about stuff like that. Server tour apparently. We'll do one of these later, but just kind of showing you around. So, um, I'm not scared of that. Why? But okay, so Liam, I say my name all the time. Why don't you go into certain stories and why don't you say certain things? Well, certain things I think like how about this? Say there's a girl in my school and or whatever and I find that she's a nice person, I find her attractive. I don't know. How do I give an example to this? I can't. You see, that's the thing. And that's the type of stuff you don't talk about on YouTube. And that's the type of things where it's this funny story. So I was playing frisbee today, and I'll talk about the story after. That's a funny story. But those type of things, like I don't go too personal, and I don't mention names and stuff if I'm telling a story, just for that reason, because I can say mention a name and say, okay, Paul was talking to Jacques or whatever. I go to a French school, but people don't have French names anyway. So Paul was talking to Jack and blah blah blah, and then they started fighting, and But if I don't include their names, I could include their names and then just go a little bit into the story to not give anything away. Or don't include the names and say exactly what happened and be like, oh, I was watching, it was hilarious. It's more funny just to exclude the names. So you exclude certain things that aren't important and you get a funnier story, more funny story. I don't think funnier is a word. Anyway, so speaking of which, so today, just reminded we had some good times last year. Me and my friends, we were basically trolling the whole school and all the teachers and everything, and it was great. Let me give you a few examples. There's these two times. So best times. Okay, so basically we have band practice. Some people have band practice, and me and a few friends, we just can't stand band. It's boring, and well, apparently no one else agrees. So for that time, while band's going on, everybody's inside and there's only me and a few friends. So we grabbed a frisbee, brought it outside, and we were throwing it around. And there's these people, right? So they're about, 5, 10 meters away. They're pretty close. And they're playing Foursquare. But you don't know, it's just this game with this ball, and you throw it and blah, 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 and you try not to get out. It's an interesting game. So they're playing, and I whip it like so hard. I go, whew, and it's flying. It's like a great throw. I'm like, yes, until I see where it's going. And it's going to this little kid's face. Right? I yell heads, like heads, right? They duck. It's great. Okay, perfect. Everyone was okay. Everything like that. until they started, and they're getting mad, and they're like, little kids, they're freaking out about it. I'm gonna tell my mom, and I'm gonna tell this person, and obviously we're not. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to hit you, and I didn't even hit you. I really didn't mean to do that. Blah blah blah. But they started getting a little, and it was funny because how you ever have those times where there's people sometimes when they get annoyed, it's funny, right? So just to troll them, we throw it lightly, and the thing is, we throw the frisbee, say here, we just and it dies, and they're way over there. It dies, and then it just slides across the ground down this hill, and right into their Foursquare game. And they look up, and they're like, their faces. It was so funny. It's just their faces. You had to be there. And then so we kept throwing it and blah, blah, blah. We never hit anybody or anything. Maybe once. This guy's a really good thrower. So he throws and this kid runs. And it was an accident. Everyone was okay. And we're like, you know what? We'll stop. And then 5 minutes later, we're going. So they finally tell a teacher. And you know what? I think this is the point where we should stop. But we didn't. Yeah, we stopped screwing with the girls. But that teacher, didn't look like she was having a great day. She's getting these kids throwing these frisbees in trouble and blah blah blah. She doesn't want to do that. Okay, I understand. I have those days too. So, let's play a game. Let's play a game called Troll the Teacher. So there's this teacher on guard. And this is all in fun. All the teachers know me at my school, and they know I'm just messing with them, and we're all cool. So until it was an accident, air quotations. No, but it actually was. So the teacher's like, no more throwing the frisbee near them. I'm like, okay, we won't throw it near them, right? So we throw it. And so basically, and after a few times getting in trouble, like we've been in trouble with every teacher, and every teacher in the school year, except this one, knows we're in trouble with it. And so she's finally pissed off, right? And then she's like, getting all mad and blah, 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 which is reasonable. I can see why you could get mad over those kids. Long story short, I throw it, right? It lands on the ground, and it's called a floor bounce, I think. Lands on the ground, and it bounces up a little, and then angles up. So basically, if I were the frisbee, it would be, and then angles up, takes off again. So I'm just throwing it lightly, takes off. As soon as it takes off, the wind catches it, pulls it. Teacher's sitting in a chair, and I've done this. It's right in front of her, and it blows up and hits and it hits her in her face. Yeah, frisbee in her face. So I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And she's like falling, stumbling out of her chair. Guys, I have to say, it was pretty hilarious. But, I felt bad, and I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And then she swears right in front of these kids, and I am like, okay, you know what, fine. I could have said, hey, you can't swear in front of those kids, blah, 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 and mention names, and, go and this. But you know what, I think it's reason, and you know what, we did stuff wrong, and blah, blah, blah. So, this other time, the teachers, we like trolling them. Last day of school last year, right? Grade 7. I'm in grade 8. I know. Terrible. Sound so much older. I also look a lot older. That's okay. So, last day of school, and the teacher's like, they're moving classrooms, they're closing up shop and they're moving elsewhere, whatever. It's easy. But some teachers are like, okay, I don't want to carry all these, this stack of boxes around. So my teacher, last year teacher, asked, "Oh, can you move some of these boxes downstairs?" So there's a lot of boxes, right? And there's a lot. So we load them all into the elevator, and then so we bring them downstairs, and then we bring it to the new classroom, and and there's a lot of boxes. We stack them all the way up to the ceiling in the room, and the teacher just walks in, right, and looks, and is like, "What the, like what?" Calls us back down. So we move it into the middle of the hallway, and this is like a 4x4 stack of boxes. It's insane. Middle of the hallway, in front of everybody. Then she asked us to move the smartboard. We promised we wouldn't mess around because it's technology. So the smartboard barely fits in the elevator. So knowing that, we load these bookshelves, some books, the laptop cart projector, and then we shove the smartboard in there. Send it to the second floor, and then we just leave it. We just can't get in. There's not enough room. And basically, the smartboard's practically stuck in there. There's a teacher who wants to use the elevator, turning the key, whatever. Door opens to see a smartboard, bookshelf, laptop cart, projectors, stands for this, desks, chairs, all loaded in there. It took us forever to get out, and the door kept trying to close on it. Oh, it was hilarious. Oh. And then even a few days ago, this teacher took our basketball because we were playing after the bell ring, whatever. That's cool. Okay, so takes it. So there's a supply teacher for that teacher the next day. It happened on a Friday, Monday. Supply teacher for that teacher. And we're like, yeah, no, she said we could have the ball back. We grab the ball. That teacher, the real teacher who took it, was in a meeting. I hope you're following. We take it from the supply teacher. We're like, yeah, even though the real teacher said, it's going to be at least a week or 2 weeks. We take the ball from the classroom. Start walking down the hallway. I'm dribbling and everything in the hallways. Right down the hallway is the teacher who took our ball and said for 2 weeks. I just turn around and I start walking the other direction. We both start walking, and she says, "Liam." And yeah, so then we got in some trouble for that. And then there's one more story I was thinking of. I think it was pretty recent. Well, I don't know. Like I like it's well, my teacher. Like we know we're all playing. This is the last story about teachers. I guess today's episode will be called Teachers or something like that. Trolling the teacher. Teacher trolling. Episode 1. We didn't do anything but tell stories. I'm trying to tell stories and do stuff. Trying to be productive, but I can't because it's not my village and I don't have any supplies and I can only run around. So last official story. My science teacher, right? Cool guy and everything. Like he knows when you're joking around and everything. So I was staying in to do a science project that I was almost late on. Like I'm rushing, I'm stressed, and then I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I'm like getting mad at the computer because it's an old iMac and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this thing can't even do Word documents. I'm getting mad. And then he says, a poor worksman always blames his tools. I said, yeah, monsieur, that's exactly why I'm blaming you. Follow that? I blame tools. Apparently, I'm blaming tools. Okay, well, then I blame you. Call them a tool. Yep. And then he called me a shower cap in French, but I think it means something else. I don't know. And then there was this other time. This is most recent, and that's it. We're going to have to call it. In science class, right? And then this kid brings this, like, machine, this, like, glue gun, giant glue gun thing that, you do to put in houses. Anyway, it's this kind of thing. And he's like staring at it. He's smiling. He's using it. The teacher is like flipping out. He's like smiling. He's like flipping out. It's great. I look at him. He's like, yeah. And he looks at me. I'm laughing at him. He's like, yeah, I like tools. I'm like, yeah. So in other words, you like yourself. And he's like, Liam, you got bigger balls than you do brains. And I said, yeah. And I'm pretty smart. Trolling the teachers. Anyway, so that was an attempt at stories, and maybe I'll go on a rant some other day while we're building about why I went back to vanilla multiplayer and about how the whole quote unquote testing, whatever, worked on this channel and all the secrets that I haven't told you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, just leave a like or a comment with some more stories or questions you want me to answer. This episode is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to have to end it right here. Thanks so much for watching. I'm almost out of breath. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Laters.